Hello, this is Brett from SurvivalComms. Recently, a very popular and influential creator in the outdoor survival space decided to market a kit for just under $400 that consists of basically a baofeng radio and what you see right before you on the table. A field expedient jungle dipole antenna cut for the 2-meter band. Now, it seems silly to me to spend $400 for something you can build in 5 minutes with just a multi-tool. Now, I have a jungle antenna build video in my content catalog from several years ago that I built for the CB band for testing those emergency rescue CB radios from the 1970s. But today, we're going to build one for VHF and UHF. This antenna requires a very limited parts count. For the radial support structure, you're going to need some kind of rigid supports, and I'm just going to use bamboo. In this example here, we're going to need some wire ties, about 7 foot of hookup wire. It's 18 gauge. We're going to need some cordage for hoisting our antenna in the tree. You're going to need some RF feed line and the necessary adapters to connect it to your two-way radio. And then you're going to need one of these, which is a Pomona 1452 BNC female dividing post adapter. The only tool you're going to need to facilitate building this antenna is a Leatherman tool. And one thing to remember about the Leatherman tool is that a Leatherman tool is 4 inches long. We're going to start with cut station number 1, where we're going to cut out our rigid support structure. We're going to use bamboo in this build. If you want to use any other sticks or any other fairly rigid material that's non-conductive, you could certainly do so. For a VHF antenna, that needs to be between 22 and 24 inches long to maintain that angular relationship with the vertical radiator. If you're using your Leatherman tool for measurement like I am, that is 5.5 Leatherman tools to 6 Leatherman tools in length. Now moving to cut station number 2, we're going to start constructing our elements. We're going to start with our 3 radials. So you're going to be making 3 of these. They need to be 20 inches long, which is going to be 5 Leatherman lengths long. Finish each end of your element with a knot. You could use an overhand knot. I'm using figure of 8 knots at the very end, and this is going to be our stop for when we secure the element to the rigid support structure with the wire ties. Now moving to cut station 3, we're going to construct our vertical radiator. Our vertical radiator needs to be 18 inches in length, and that is going to be 4.5 Leatherman lengths. To attach our hang loop to our vertical element, we're going to make a sheet bend knot. Now remove 1 inch of insulation from your vertical element, and we're going to attach this to our Pomona 1452. Now to form our hang loop, we're just going to go ahead and make a bowline loop at the end. Now we're going to form our rigid support structure out of bamboo in this example, where we cross over the 2 pieces of bamboo at each corner. We're going to encircle these joints with a wire tie, and we're going to place our radial element with the knot end through the end of it, and then we're going to gently tighten up the wire tie on each corner. And then once we've constructed everything, we do our finish tightening and then trim off our wire ties with our Leatherman tool. Now take your radials, making sure they're not wrapped around the support structure anywhere, bring them all together, strip back 1 inch of insulation from each one, consolidate them together, and insert them into the black side of your 4152 adapter, which is tied to the shield of the coax connector. And here is our completed antenna. Now let's talk about rounding out our accessories now that we've built our antenna. We've rip-wrapped 50 foot of bank line into a quart Ziploc, and for our throw bag we have a disposed of pill bottle right here that we can fill with sand or water as needed. And when not needed, you don't have the weight of all that sand or rocks or whatever you've got the bottle filled with, but you can use it to store your RF adapters or accessories. And the cost of this is almost nothing. And we now have our antenna installed in the tree and we're ready to test, and you can see that it's already camouflaged up with the moss that was growing on this oak tree. Like paternity court, the results are in, and this is the antenna you saw me build without any tweaking. We have decent results at VHF as anticipated. The return loss is excellent. At UHF, you see the antenna appears to load and show decent return loss, but this is an illusion, and I will explain in a moment. This is coupled with the radiation pattern of using UHF on a VHF ground plane being suboptimal, and this is true with supposed dual band J-poles that lack proper UHF trapping as well. Let us discuss a couple of other considerations. The first is cable loss, and you can see at VHF we were down 1.4 dB with a 25-foot cable, and at UHF we were down 2.5 dB, and that is nothing to sneeze at because you aren't getting that back from gain in this design. Couple that with a crappy radiation pattern at UHF and this isn't good, and the subjective results from marketing-based testimony aren't based in reality. Let's talk about issue 2 with the design, the Pomona 1452. These adapters work great at HF and a little less so up to VHF, but at UHF frequencies you can see the loss across the 1452 coupled with the cable loss. We are beyond having our effective radiated power and receive signal strength. If you noticed why we shortened our vertical radiator with a 1452 compared to conventional ground plane designs, this is due to about 1.5 inches of the 1452 acting as an antenna. Now, is this a good field expedient antenna design? At VHF it is decent, but at UHF not so much. We're going to go into much more detail in future content. Well, we already know we've got our antenna, our Pomona 1452 adapter, our feed line, and this is just a field expedient support structure we made out of bamboo, and you could certainly take sections of bamboo and shove them in your pack somewhere if you wanted to do so, and we'll talk about that in a second. You're going to need an RF adapter, and this is a good quality RF adapter. These are about $10 a piece, but I buy them in bulk so I get a better deal. Now, these aren't Amazonium. These actually come from a legitimate surplus electronics dealer. So an RF adapter that's going to interface to your radio. Radio-wise, now the kit is advertised as the UV82 Pro or whatever. It's a baofeng radio basically that has AM aircraft receive. It does USB-C charging, And I mean, it's probably a decent radio, but it's still, at the end of the day, a baofeng radio. So why don't we just use a cheaper baofeng radio, the baofeng Mini. It does just about everything that does. Now, of course, it doesn't have Bluetooth or APRS or whatever. I don't use APRS, so I really don't care. And you want to get a big antenna, get a good antenna. Like this signal stick is a pretty good antenna right there. That's going to add a little bit to your cost. You may be able to even pull off a second baofeng Mini and still keep the price less than $150 easily for just about everything you see here, which is less than the baofeng radio, the UV82 Pro. For some kind of storage option for it, just one of these Alice gear pouches for the M249. One of these things is going to work out fine for you. Now, some people are going to say, well, you know, the support structure, you know, you don't have the one that breaks down and it goes into the longer pouch. It's made of fiberglass tent poles, and you can buy a fiberglass tent pole and make like 2 of those kits for about $15, $16. Just take your bandsaw and chop off the ends and put it together like that. However, if you're not just interested in doing that, you could do something like this right here, which is just doggone freezer line from the hardware store and a hose barb. Just put that together right there and use that in lieu of using this with the wire ties and things of that nature. You can actually elevate your antenna, and you've got your element spacing to keep it from becoming essentially a vertical dipole. It maintains that 45-degree angular relationship with the radials, because at the end of the day, this is nothing more than a ground plane antenna made of wire. I hope this helps. This is Brett from SurvivalComms. Till next time.